But I look very fit. Thank you. I am very fit actually. I am very fit. You know, I need to be fit because my journey is long to presidency. I've got a long way to presidency. So I need to be fit, and I pray to God that He looks after me well, you know, because really I've got a long way to presidency. I need my God to look after me, and I ask you to keep praying for me. Yes, I ask you to keep praying for me so that God will bless me with good health. Otherwise, you know, good health is an asset. You lose it, that's it. It's difficult. Let me open this Fanta. Kaula Josephat. I'm doing good, my man. I'm doing good. Shadi. Muriokela. Finish your lady Shania. What are you complaining? Tayali, what are you complaining about? What are you complaining about? You started complaining before I even start talking. Anyway, last night I had to stop abruptly because I ran out of airtime. Actually, I wanted to say it is because of power, but no, it is because I ran out of airtime. But anyway, there was no power around here. There seemed to be a problem. Power keeps, you know, going off, on and off, and sometimes, you know, it is bringing this shock. Quite dangerous, I must say. But anyway, this evening, things seem to have calmed down. We have power. And I received 200 kwacha. I received 100 kwacha from somebody from Kalomo. And another 100 kwacha from somebody within Lusaka. This person was insisting, please don't mention me, don't mention me. I'm not going to mention you, but let me acknowledge to say thank you very much. You sent me 100 kwacha, of which I have bought bundles for this live chat. I also thank you, the one that sent me another 100 kwacha from Kalomo. So I'm grateful. And I've got a number of issues that I want to talk about. Now, a lot of you keep, where do you stand? Where do you stand? I'm telling you, you need to get used to this. I am not siding on either side. I'm not siding with UPND. I'm not siding with PF. So those of you who come here hoping that I will speak good of the side that you support, whether you support UPND, whether you support PF, you will be getting disappointed. These days, I'm taking issues as I see them objectively. Objectively, that's how I'm taking issues. So there is nothing like me siding with which this side and this side. There is nothing. Apanomba ni Chilufya Tayali, president of Economic and Equity Party, an opposition political party offering checks and balances. And when we are offering checks and balances to the ruling party, it doesn't mean that those other parties which are in opposition are our friends automatically. No. We will give our position. I will give my position based on what I think. It is not automatic that I'm going to agree with Socialist Party. It is not automatic that I'm going to agree with PF. It is not automatic that I'm going to agree with MMD or whichever political party. This issue of saying, no, fellow opposition. As long as it is not Economic and Equity Party, all the other political parties are opposition to us, including the UPND. So please, those of you who have been coming here with the hope that I'm going to support your side, Mube Perefi, that time is gone. That time is gone. I'm going to look at things as they are. But before, and tonight I'm going to discuss this issue. Yeah, UPND. They are busy talking about this, whatever. I'm going to talk about it. Then there is also this issue of Edgar Lungu, about his travels and the politics around the former head of state. I'm going to discuss that. Now, before I do that, allow me to re-echo this appeal on Emerin Kabanshi. I am pleading, I will continue pleading, and I ask you, good people, to also join me in pleading for Emerin Kabanshi. Please let us join together and plead for the release of Emerin Kabanshi. Let us join together. It is not that I'm doing this because of whatever. Emerin Kabanshi is not even my friend. And in Sharia, nothing. But I'm looking at her because Emerin Kabanshi has been a sacrificial lamb. There was corruption in PF. We cannot run away from it. It's a fact. There was corruption in PF. And a lot of us spoke against that corruption. PF. But certainly, Emerin Kabanshi is not one of those ministers who was corrupt. Emerin Kabanshi is not one of those ministers who were corrupt. Emerin Kabanshi has been jailed for 2 years, not because she was corrupt, but because she thought she was doing something that was right to help the poor. The story is very simple. How it all started, we had social cash transfer, we had people, agents, who were collecting money and going into the field to distribute money, cash. Bafika Pamushi, and they start calling these people and they start giving them money. This proved to be dangerous. This proved to be fraudulent, because in certain cases there were people that reported that they were attacked and money was stolen. In certain cases we had situations where agents, instead of giving those old people who could not read, who could not really understand, instead of giving them 150, they would give them 100 kwacha. Some of them were even being given 50 kwacha. And by Emerin Kabanshi, seeing this, she felt bad. And she proposed that the distribution of social cash transfer goes to a Zampost, so that people can go to Zampost and get the money from there. In our view, this was the best way to help the poor. And they were supposed to do, there is this government procurement procedures. But Emerin Kabanshi insisted that Zampost be given. And she bulldozed everyone, she pushed everyone around to make sure that Zampost was given that contract to distribute money. As you know, Zampost is not a government institution. Government is a government institution. It is not a private institution. Therefore, no one can say Emerin Kabanshi was doing this so that she can go and get a kickback. No. She was only doing that because she recognized Zampost, that Zampost can do a better job. That is why she bulldozed that Zampost be the one to distribute that money. Unfortunately, what happened thereafter, so many other things where Zampost, used part of the money to buy vehicles and what. But at the end of the day, Emerin Kabanshi had the good intention, had the poor people at heart. She's a woman suffering for the poor. And this is why I am here making an appeal to this country that we have criminals, yes. We have corrupt people, yes. But Emerin Kabanshi is not one of those criminals. Emerin Kabanshi is not one of those corrupt people. And therefore, we should not make Emerin Kabanshi suffer for the corruption that existed in PF. She should not continue to be a sacrificial lamb. Emerin Kabanshi was sacrificed by the PF. Emerin Kabanshi was neglected by the PF. They have neglected her. They don't even call her. They don't even go and visit her. I am appealing to you by PF. I am appealing to you, including to you by Edgar Chagwa, that we need to stand with that woman. We all know that that woman is an innocent woman. We know that that woman is not a criminal like these other criminals. We know that Emerin Kabanshi was not splashing money around like these other people were splashing money around. She's a good minister. She was a good public servant. Unfortunately, out of ignorance, out of excitement, she made this mistake, and she's now serving a sentence of abuse of office purely on pushing an agenda for the poor, and she's suffering for it. Me, I am appealing to this country. I'm appealing to all of you. Can we please see what we can do to advocate for Emerin Kabanshi's release? Mulalemba pa, hey, release whoever. But those people that you say, release Chakuti. Some of them, they are actually corrupt. If there is somebody that you need to stand with, especially you women, and I'm calling upon, these NGOs and everything, women NGOs, please. Yes, abuse of office is not good. But surely, let us look at the circumstances. These are not circumstances that we can say, this was an arrogant person, this was a corrupt person. No. These are exceptional circumstances where we need to stand with somebody. Yes, according to the law, it is abuse of office. Yes, according to the law, she shouldn't have done what she did. She shouldn't have taken the procurement process in her own hands. Yes. But let's look at her intention. Her intention was to save the poor. I am really pleading. If you can, I'll be very happy to see. Just take one sentence. Mule post up on social media. Please release Emerin Kabanshi. Appealing to the president. Let's appeal to the president. Let's appeal to the president. President Hakainde Hichilema, please release Emerin Kabanshi. President Hakainde Hichilema, please release Emerin Kabanshi. I'm telling you, this, if you do this on social media, we keep writing, we keep talking about this. President Hakainde Hichilema, I know he's a man who listens. I know he will listen and he will consider our plea. Let us speak to President Hakainde Hichilema. Let us advance this plea that please, this is a sacrificial lamb. Let not this woman continue suffering for it. I will support President Hakainde Hichilema if these other criminals are the ones who are arrested and thrown in jail. I will support him. And I'm looking forward to some of these people going to jail. Just that I cannot come here and mention the names. It will be prejudicial. And some of them, truth be told, they are my friends. But they are my friends. I know they are criminals. Some of them, I know. And some of these cases, when they will be ending, I'll be talking about them. Yeah, so that is the issue by Emerin Kabanshi. On Bachilangwa, I really sympathize with my brother Bachilangwa. I really sympathize with him. But truth be told again, the advice that was given to Bachilangwa was not very good, because now he's in a very difficult situation because of the poor advice that was given to him. But we can only pray that that trial is expedited so that, the case can be disposed of. And what the court will find, that is up to the court. I'm not saying and I'm not standing in any side. I mean, I will just leave it to the court. Yeah. So that is that. I would have spoken about Shadrach Kasanda, but for now, I will leave that one. For now, I will leave that one. For now, just for now. I was going to talk about it, but I'll leave that one for a bit. Which takes me now to the issue that we have been grappling with throughout the day. This is the issue of Zimbabwe and the documentary that came out of there. Frankly speaking, I don't understand hello? Yeah, Shani, when the quarter 20 hours. Pari ulefwa? Yes. I'll call you. Okay. That is one of my brothers. So, you know, family comes first. You just never know. You can be ignoring your brother, so that's why I picked that call. So now, let's discuss this issue of Zimbabwe and that documentary. I don't understand the anxiety coming from the UPND and the government per se. I don't understand. Why are you so, jittery about this documentary? Why? I am failing to understand why. The entire government is shaken by this documentary. The entire UPND is shaken by this documentary. What is it that has made you so uncomfortable in that documentary? What is it? Please, I mean, you are making statements, but no one is attaching a statement which, is contained in that documentary, which is making you uncomfortable. You are making insinuations. You are making insinuations, but what do you mean? Where is that? You are talking about, no, they can cause whatever between Zimbabwe and Zambia, irreparable damage. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What is it that is in that documentary which is making you so uncomfortable? What is it? Because that documentary, I've watched it. I've watched it 3 times. I can't understand. I don't see what is making you so anxious about that documentary. I don't understand. Unless you are not watching the same documentary that I watched. I don't understand. I'm not understanding you. What content is making you uncomfortable there? You are talking about defamation. What lie? What lie is in that documentary? To show us where the lie is, to say this is not true. Because that documentary, it is in a number of parts. It is in a number of parts. First of all, they are talking about Zimbabwe and its history. How the land appropriation. From there, they talk about, the tiff that was there between Zimbabwe and the Western countries. And then coming in of Mnangagwa and the development that has been happening in Zimbabwe. And from there, we talk about they are bringing in the issue of the elections and how these elections, how the last elections were so favorable for both parties, the ruling and the opposition. They talk about how the opposition political parties managed to get so many permits to do the rallies and how they went everywhere galvanizing votes. And from there, they talk about, how Zimbabwe this time around opened doors for international community to come and do election observation, including SADC and European Union. From there, they talk about now SADC and the President Hakainde Hichilema and his association, I think that is what is making you uncomfortable. I think what is making you uncomfortable, it's his association. And UPND is very uncomfortable. Whenever you mention the Brent Trust and the Copenhageners, they become jittery. They become very apprehensive. I think that's what you are reacting to. You are reacting, I don't think you are reacting to our statements in there. Because our statements are not anything that you can talk about national security as jeopardizing the relationship that we have with Zimbabwe. I don't think so. I think what is making you uncomfortable, be truthful, face it. What is making you uncomfortable is your association with the Brent Trust and the Copenhageners. I think that is what is making you uncomfortable. But isn't that true? Isn't that true that the Brent Trust supports certain political parties in different countries? Isn't it true? Isn't it true? It is a fact. It is a fact. It is a notorious fact. It is everywhere. We know it. You know it. Brent Trust, Executive Director Greg Milner, I don't know now, but most part of President Hakainde Hichilema, when he just was just elected, he was part of the advisors. Greg Milner has been doing reports on the mining, even doing surveys which way is best for us, to export our copper, what and what. They are working with the UPND. And these are the same people that are supporting Chamisa in Zimbabwe. It is a fact. It is a fact. These are the people that are supporting Raila Odinga in Kenya. These are the people that are supporting ADDA in South Africa. It is a notorious fact. So what have we said which is making to say we are not being patriotic? Our president has got connection with these people. This is a fact. He has connections to these people. These people have helped him to win an election, and they are helping him even in the leadership now. It is the truth. It is the truth. So what are you agitating about? Even talking about espionage, what? Hey, police. What? Because this is what we talked about. And then Barnabas Mumba, we are basically saying Barnabas Mumba was the wrong person to have been sent to Zimbabwe. That is the issue. Our issue is we do not agree with the appointment of Barnabas Mumba as a head of mission of SADC mission in Zimbabwe. That is our issue. And even that video, though it has this background, it is centering on that fact that Barnabas Mumba was a misfit to have been sent to head the mission in SADC. This is the center of it. We can bring in that, but the center of it, what precipitated or what initiated that documentary was Barnabas Mumba as a misfit, Barnabas Mumba as a wrong person to have been appointed. That is what really brought up all this. It's not anything. We're not talking about security of what. No. But Barnabas Mumba is the one that has brought these problems. It was wrong for President Hakainde Hichilema to have appointed Barnabas Mumba. That is our issue. And we are saying, we are giving reasons. We are giving reasons why Barnabas Mumba is a wrong person. We are giving reason that Barnabas Mumba is part of the Brent Trust. There is an association. He has been knocking on the door of the Brent Trust so that they can welcome him. They can baptize him into that clique. He has been doing that. And Barnabas Mumba knows that, Chamisa is sponsored by the Brent Trust. Barnabas Mumba knows he's a friend to this Chamisa guy. So how do you appoint a guy that has got some relationship with the opposition in that country. A person that has been knocking on the door of the Brent Trust. How do you appoint this person to go and monitor elections there and expect him to be objective? That is our issue. Our issue is that Barnabas Mumba, to start with, he has got connection with the Brent Trust, which is supporting Chamisa, and he has got connection with Chamisa. And therefore, we see it wrong that President Hakainde Hichilema appointed this man to go to Zimbabwe, because we believe that this man could not be objective. Could not be objective. And lo and behold, how did Barnabas Mumba behave himself when he went there? He showed it clearly that he was biased. He showed it clearly that he was biased. It is the actions of Barnabas Mumba in Zimbabwe that brought those people into Zambia. It is because of the way Barnabas Mumba conducted himself there. First of all, you know, there are these issues. There are these issues that we are talking about. That this man he wants to fraternize with the Brent Trust. Then on the other side, we know that he is connected. He has got some relationship with Chamisa. They are friends. So, based on that, and then he goes there and he acts in a certain manner that clearly shows bias. Barnabas Mumba, it was reported that he escorted Chamisa to go and vote on the day of voting. Barnabas Mumba on a press conference came and refused to say, no, we didn't follow him. We didn't escort him. We just met. And then in the same breath, in the press conference, he goes, no, we just wanted to see. What if he was going to be beaten? What if we wanted to see? So clearly, I mean, what is the interest? We had about 11 candidates. Why did you follow all these 11 candidates where they were voting to see if they are going to be beaten or not? Why did you follow Chamisa? Why Chamisa? Why not these others? So he showed bias. He showed bias. Then he comes out to issue a report. Quickly, he issues a report. This election has not fulfilled, you know, the threshold of, you know, free and fair. It cannot be considered as free and fair election. Meanwhile, so basically, what Barnabas Mumba was saying is that the election in Zimbabwe was a sham. That's basically what he said, what he did. That's basically what Barnabas Mumba declared the elections in Zimbabwe as a sham. That's what he did. And frankly speaking, that is not right. That is not right. So he's the one who opened the Pandora's box. He's the one who brought problems. And when those people saw, who is this one now? Who comes here in Zimbabwe and tell us that our elections were a sham? Who is this one? That was the question that came in the Zimbabweans. Who is this one calling our elections a sham? Who is this one? That is how those people were dispatched to come to Zambia to find out who is this person who is calling our elections a sham. Who is he? And they came asking, they came to me, they asked me, who is Barnabas Mumba? I responded according to the way I know him. They went to Fred Membe, they asked him, who is Barnabas Mumba? Fred Membe described him. Nakachinda worked with Barnabas Mumba. He shared his experience. Emmanuel Mwamba is a diplomat who has also observed elections. He shared his experience according to how an election observer should conduct himself. But given Lubinda also gave his opinion. So where is our unpatriotism here? Where is our unpatriotism? Where is our patriotism? What are you talking about? I can't understand you. I don't understand you. What are you talking about? We described Barnabas Mumba the way we know him. We gave our opinion. We were not talking about the internal whatever of Zambia. We were talking about Barnabas Mumba. That is the issue. Here is about Barnabas Mumba. Barnabas Mumba, valide tolwa isuromushi. Iyo waile ku Zimbabwe. Typical of him. Barnabas Mumba ngamawapela stage. Ma, nangavene waka inde ichilema. Even this aka inde ichilema. If he's playing around with Barnabas Mumba, he can use him to step up. Barnabas Mumba is an opportunist. He is an opportunist. That's what he is. That's what he is. And if Barnabas Mumba thinks that we are defaming him, he is free to go to court. I don't want to be going to my court and whatever. I want to finish up. But surely, some of these things we need to speak them as they are. I don't want whatever litigations, but it doesn't mean now you should take advantage of us and start threatening us so that we fear to talk. How way? But Sanda, you issued a statement. I mean, and sometimes Sanda bring statements where it is deserving for the government to respond. Not some of these issues that you are responding to. You are supposed to be issuing statements. Pamitengo wabunga. You are supposed to be issuing statements. Pariba fertilizer. You are supposed to be issuing statements on people employment, creating employment. Not a statement. You even drag in Barnabas Mumba. Barnabas Mumba is a starring in this issue. Even in that documentary, the center is on Barnabas Mumba. That is where it is. And why are you trying to protect him? You will not launder. You will not launder the character of Barnabas Mumba. It is there. When I said Barnabas Mumba Babufi, he has been convicted for lies. He has been convicted for lies. Convicted for lying. Barnabas Mumba, come on, Napapata. I said what I said, but really, when you live in a glass house, please stop throwing stones. Barnabas Mumba, you can't launder by UPND. You can't launder the character of Barnabas Mumba. It is just there, fixed. Even if you go to court and mwawaleta mukasevana, the only thing that you can achieve is to inconvenience us, to arrest us, throw us maseozi, whatever. But at the end of the day, Barnabas Mumba cannot stand in court and defend his character. You can't talk about integrity. You can't talk about patriotism. Barnabas Mumba fails in all standards. You can't talk about democracy. Who is Barnabas Mumba to go and talk about democracy in Zimbabwe when he himself has overstayed in MMD? He himself does not subject himself to elections. Who is he to go and talk about democratic tenets in Zimbabwe? That is what we are talking about, to say this man is a wrong guy. He's a wrong man to have been sent in to go and head a mission in an election, because he himself cannot face an election. Barnabas Mumba has been running away from elections of MMD. He has been running away. He has overstayed. So how can you send such a man to go and talk and preach democracy in another country? And when they come here to ask us, you want us to be patriotic, to start lying on behalf of Barnabas Mumba? That's what you want. That is patriotism to you. We start lying on behalf of Barnabas Mumba. No. You are trying to launder Barnabas Mumba. Forget it. His character is soiled. He is soiled. His political life is dead. He is dead. Barnabas Mumba is dead. He's just... But survivor could drip Barnabas Mumba. Bali could drip. Bali ikara. Baba mukoma politically. Baba mukoma. Which political statement can Barnabas Mumba issue? Who is going to listen to him? Even if I mean Barnabas Mumba, I can challenge you 2026 and I'm going to contest elections. And Barnabas Mumba in 2026. Let's see who is going to have votes. Barnabas Mumba, bad. Those Those are dead people politically. And you are trying to resuscitate them. You are giving them if drip. Eh? No. No. I mean, we want to work with you by UPND. Some of us, we want to work with you. We want to help you where we can. But we will not do so with this intimidation. And we will not do so in lies, especially me. I will never lie to you to say, no, this is good when it is not good. No. Nangunsala injikate. Nangunsala injikate, yes. I'm broke and whatever, but I will not go down to start lying. I will not do that. I will not do that. Baneva smumba, baneva smumba yo. Awe, not baneva smumba. Tupeniko bambi. Tupeniko bambi, not baneva smumba. So ida statement wa chushika sanda mwachipela mwandi mpali baneva smumba ine. I don't subscribe to it. I don't subscribe to it. So that is about by UPND na baneva smumba. Tapadi fakwa tumule tutinya pacha na shantapadi. You made a mistake to appoint Baneva Smumba. Baneva Smumba also didn't do you a good thing. When he went there, he made statements which were so wrong. He was so controversial. He sparked a stir in Zimbabwe. And that is why those people came here. Those journalists came here. They contacted me. I had an interview with them. They went to others, they had an interview with them. And by the way, this happened soon after the elections, the announcement of Mnangagwa. Soon after the announcement of Mnangagwa as president, and Baneva Smumba subsequently making statements. That's when those people came. That documentary was done even before the inauguration. That documentary was done before the inauguration. And the people that are there, that's why you see the people that are in that video were actually even invited to go to Zimbabwe. And that is how, even myself, I was invited to go to Zimbabwe. Unfortunately, my own good friends stepped on it by Sanchinga. They went. But that is okay. That is okay. So you can now understand how it happened. It was soon after the announcement of Mnangagwa's president, but Nevas Mumba issuing a statement, and those people came to find out who is Nevas Mumba. What is his credibility for him to talk in the manner that he did in Zimbabwe? And we gave them our opinion. And from there, they even invited some of these people who even featured in that documentary to go and attend the inauguration. And that is how I was also invited. But PF Barinyanta Pantambo. It's okay. It's okay. Which moves me now to the issue of Bamdara Edgar Lungu. Now, I know some of you already are getting confused. Hey, you are talking, you are criticizing UPND. Now you are criticizing. Hey, so where are you going to be? Who is going to be with you? Who is going to be with you? Hello? I have aligned myself with UPND. What did I get? I just got insults. See? Hey, UPND has given you money. Hey, whatever. I got nothing. I've aligned myself with PF. Hey, PF has given you money. Whatever. I got nothing. So, I would rather be here. Those who are my true friends will still accept me as Chilufya Tayali, and we will work together and we will do whatever we can do together. So I'm not on one side. I'm not on UPND. I'm not on PF. Mumfuikishe. Don't say which side are you. Ninkana. Njipakati. I'm Chilufya Tayali, President of Economic and Equity Party. And that is the agenda that I'm pushing now. That is the agenda that I'm pushing now. So don't expect me to speak favorably of UPND or PF. Now, talking about this issue now of President Edgar Chagwa. Yesterday, I tried to speak a bit about this issue. I said, to start with, when you talk about the Constitution, Edgar Lungu and anybody else has the right to move about, to go anywhere. It is part of the Constitution. There is no law that is stopping Edgar Chagwa Lungu to go anywhere. Except that there are actually some exceptions. Even in the law, there are actually some exceptions. If you read Article 22, I think Article 22, clause 2 and 3, I think. There are some exceptions. For example, if you are detained, you are restricted, you can't move. Okay? And then there are also sometimes when some laws, some subsidiary laws will stop somebody from moving or will restrict somebody's movement. So the Constitution do recognize that there can be situations where your movements can be restricted. And this is where President Edgar Chagwa Lungu comes in. I was trying to explain yesterday that yes, he has the freedom. He has the freedom, but the law allows for application of certain provisions which can restrict somebody's movement. And I said yesterday that Edgar Chagwa Lungu is a state asset. Is a state asset, which is why he is entitled to state security. He's entitled to drivers. He's entitled to a chef. He's entitled to a bodyguard. Because he's a state security. And it is a common practice for former heads of state to notify cabinet, because is a government trophy. All government trophies, all government assets are under, cabinet. So he is supposed to notify cabinet. Unfortunately, this is just what it is. Unfortunately, it is not that it is this government or it is injustice. No, this is just what it is. And it applies to all other presidents, including Dr. Kenneth Kaunda. When he was alive, he was also controlled by cabinet. His movements were controlled. You lose it, and it's not only happening in Zambia. It happens everywhere in the world, at least America. If we can talk, I know mostly about America. I remember one time George Bush was telling a story of how much he has been restricted from driving. He has got, George Bush loves driving and he likes these big cars. And according to America, a former president cannot drive. He can't drive, he has to be driven. And the only thing, so he has got this nice vehicle, these big vehicles, he can only drive them within his farm. He can't drive them on a public road. It is restricted. Much as he loves driving, he can't go and drive on a public road. What is this? This guy, Obama. Obama also shared a story of how he can no longer use a phone. From the time that he became president, they got his BlackBerry. They got his BlackBerry. Now there are these new phones, iPhones and whatever, and he only admires them from the children. His children, the Sasha and the Kahara girl, they have these nice phones. And himself, he still can't use the phone like you and I. Imagine that restriction. Up to today, Obama was sharing this in an interview, that he can't. Up to today. He also shared that, he doesn't have an ATM card where you go and withdraw money from an ATM. He doesn't have. He doesn't have an ATM card. So, there are restrictions with these positions. When you become president, it changes. Everything about you changes. So you can't go anywhere anyhow. I saw there was an argument to say, no. Like when they stopped him from going to South Africa, to say, no. no, when they stopped him from going to SO, to say no, government was not paying. So since government was not paying, he was free to go. Yes, there are these two scenarios. One scenario is where government funds his movement. And by the way, most of his movement are actually funded by government. Most of his movements are supposed to be funded by government. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them are supposed to be funded by government. As long as there is communication with government, as long as there is communication with government, all the movements are supposed to be funded by government. Not all movements, but most of them. Most of them. And how? For example, the former president is entitled to fuel, is entitled to a vehicle, and is entitled to fuel. Per week, he's supposed to draw a number of liters. Meaning, his movements are being sponsored by government. Are being sponsored by government. The vehicles are coming from government. Okay? And I'll talk about this when I'm talking about he should brand himself as a statesman. Because he's entitled to vehicles, he's entitled to fuel. Now, there is this issue to say, no, when he is going somewhere, like he has been invited, like in this case was invited by North Korea. Is it North Korea or South Korea, whatever. He was invited and everything was done for. So he doesn't need to tell cabinet, no, that is not true. That is not true. He is a state asset. He is a state asset. And as a state asset, he cannot just start off like any other person and go. He can't. He can't. He has to tell cabinet. Va Edgar Lungu, va wakwati musungwa. You know musungwa? When you are looking after somebody at home, when you are looking after somebody at home, a child, you know, from your sister or your whatever, you are looking after that child. You are providing for that child. That child cannot just leave your house unless you are an indisciplined guardian. Unless you are a careless guardian, you will not care where that person goes. But if you are a disciplined guardian, you will have to know where he goes. And unfortunately, this is just what it is. And this, I am insisting, is not only happening to Hakainde, to Edgar Chagwa Lungu. Even Hakainde Ichilema, when you go out, you will find these issues. Even those presidents who are wherever, they have these issues. They are there. So, Mwewe Kalachalo, me, I bring these topics to give you clarification. This is just what it is. And that is why, for me, that litigation, which Edgar Lungu filed yesterday, was emotive. It was emotive for him to do that. He shouldn't have done that. Why? Because really, I mean, he ought to know about these practices. He ought to know about these practices. And Katawokawan has come out to say, no, they didn't notify us. And I believe government, I know our government, but I believe them on this one. I don't think they informed them. And that's why he has withdrawn. I don't think they informed them. Because if they had informed them, Emmanuel Mwamba would have been very categorical about it. And he's a person that even likes to give proof. We would have seen a letter because it is supposed to be written. We would have seen a letter which went to cabinet, but there is no letter which went to cabinet. We saw the letter when he was going to South Africa for medicals. We saw the letter. Of course, they shared the response. They didn't share the letter that they wrote. So certainly, I'm sure government would have responded and they would have shown that evidence, but they didn't. That's why they have withdrawn that case, because I don't think they did notify government. I don't think they did. If they had done so, I'm sure government would have responded in writing. And that later, they would have circulated it on social media. By the fact that they didn't circulate it on social media, it means it is non-existent. And government cannot respond without writing. If they wrote to them and they wrote, I don't think they would have responded in writing and would have seen it. So that is why he has withdrawn it. But on the other side, Edgar Chagwa Lungu, according to Article 98 of our Constitution, which is about, protecting the president from litigation, he has immunity. He has immunity. And a person who has immunity cannot sue or be sued. That's what it is. And the Article 98 is very clear that the immunity continues. You cannot prosecute him, criminally. It continues even after, he finishes, he is out of office. So this is why Edgar Chagwa Lungu, even on some of these cases, you don't see him being arrested, because he has that immunity until that immunity is removed from Parliament. Of course, on the civil litigation, it is talking about the term. It is talking about the term. But clearly, that proceeding which they wanted to do, I think was a wrong one. It was emotive. It was misplaced. And I'm glad they withdrew it. Because one other thing that litigation would have done would have exposed President Edgar Chagwa Lungu to litigation. Many other things would have come in. And if you are avoiding to go to court, if you don't want people to take you to court, the advice that I give you is that you don't take them to court as well. That's why you don't see me, people calling me names, what, I don't say I'm taking you to court. But Simon, whatever, I don't take him to court. I just ignore, because I don't want to be taken to court over what I say. I don't believe in that. So if you have got issues that people would want to take you to court for, then you are the first one to go to court. You are opening a Pandora's box. Because those people might use this and really take you on. Because right now, government has been reluctant or bad in a way to bring Edgar Lungu to court. Then Edgar Lungu have a number via court. Imagine that. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say here. Government somehow has been restricted to take Edgar Lungu to court. Now, the same person that, government has been like, okay, we can't take him to court. He is the first one to go to court. Imagine what would have happened. It may look simple, but this case would have messed them up. It would have messed them up. It is the same Chilufya is a thief. When Vanawakwi and Fred Membe and others said Chilufya is a thief, Chilufya went and arrested those people, took them to court. What came out of there? It was a simple statement. Chilufya is a thief. But at the end of the day, it opened to so many things. My advice, my simple advice is that Edgar Lungu should be very, very careful. And where possible, avoid to go to court. This is why even in that case, Esther, relating to motor vehicle and whatever, my advice was that if it can be sorted out outside court, the better. That was my advice. Surely if it could be sorted out, if it could be discussed outside court, it would be better. Going kuma court is not a very good idea, because kuma court kwali shupa. When you see some of us pleading or asking for forgiveness, it is not that we are stupid. We understand. And don't be overconfident that, no, my case is good. My case is good. No. If you find a good lawyer, he can spin things around. Today, I was in court. I'm telling you, just that I can't say much. Some of these cases, they become so sensationalized. Ngaturelanda social media. Whoa. They look so clear. But when you go and sit in court, yeah. I watched that case. I've been following it. And trust me, What will come out of there will shock many people. What will come out of there will shock many people. I can't delve into it, but I'm telling you, I've been sitting in that hearing, and what I'm hearing, really, it will shock. The outcome is definitely going to shock so many people. But you will be shocked because you are not in court. Some of us who are sitting in court, we can see the direction which this case is going. And I don't think we'll be surprised because of what is coming out of court. On social media, it's one thing. Yeah, but really, when evidence starts coming out, hey, yeah, I will not prejudice that case. I don't want to be cited for contempt. I'm only saying I've been sitting in court and you can tell because evidence really can point you to where the case is going. The evidence in Malanji is already pointing in a certain direction. That direction, I'm not saying it is guilty or not guilty. I'm just saying it is pointing in a certain direction. I'm not saying which direction. So, in essence, I'm saying, but Edgar Lungu should avoid Amakot. And I'm really emphasizing this, and I'm saying this, just as me, not whatever, he should avoid Amakot. He should avoid Amakot. Even some of these cases that are there, some of them, I wish they can be aware that they can engage government. And frankly speaking, for me, that is the direction that I would want Edgar Lungu to take. To take a direction of statesman and start branding himself as a statesman. To avoid these confrontations. Confrontations with government, doing politics, will not help by Edgar Chagwa. It is a fact that when politics come at play, my friend, there is no friendship. Unfortunately, we can talk, we can say whatever we want, but anywhere when politics come in, politics is divisive. Politics is confrontational. Politics is aggressive. Yeah. Politics is aggressive, eh? It's aggressive. It is aggressive. Politics is aggressive. Politics teyavana. That's why I say politics teyavana. So Lungu ngabalefo mutende. Let him stay away from politics. And I know someone, when I say this, he will think that no, Hakainde Hichilema has paid me money to advise him to stay out of politics so that Hakainde Hichilema can have it easy. No. The one that I'm saving here, the one that I'm speaking for is Edgar Chagwa. I swear upon my mother, the one that I'm speaking for now, if there is anyone that should pay me, if there is anyone that should pay me for talking, I'm telling you, Niba Hakainde Hichilema. Or Niba Edgar Lungu. But Edgar Lungu should pay me for speaking for him, for advising him. Because if he continues in politics, it's not going to be easy. Like I was saying that, there are these laws about movements and restrictions. If you are a statesman, if you are not in politics, it becomes easy, even for your movements. It becomes easy. You won't have to be inconvenienced. Government will simply allow you. I want to go to London. They will not question. They will not bother you. If you have a good relationship with them as a former head of state, if you are a statesman, there will be no issue. Look at Obama, for example. Obama can go anywhere and do this and what. He's enjoying himself. But look at Trump. Look at Trump. He's also a former head of state. Look at what is happening to Trump. Those are politics. That's what politics does. Avena George Bush, Avena Bill Clinton. They don't have problems, these problems that Edgar Lungu is facing. It is because of politics. And don't say, no, the law. I'm telling you, politics precedes the law. If Chilufya na mule umfuikisha kana na tampo kulanda. Politics is bigger than the law. Politics precedes the law. Yes, in terms of talking, no, the law is the supreme of the land. Yes, it is the supreme of the land. It is the supreme of the land, yes. But in practice, politics precedes the constitution. And it happens. A guy look at what happened. I think in Italy. A guy was in jail, and because of politics, because people loved him, the guy was taken out of jail, and he was voted back. I think it also in Brazil it's happened. A guy who was inside, who was facing corruption charges and whatever, was brought back because politics is bigger. When people love you, when people are in support of you, even if you have committed an offense, a serious offense, you will find that it will be difficult, first of all, for police to arrest you, and sometimes it might even be difficult for you to be prosecuted. And this is how Hakainde Hichilema also survived. Hakainde Hichilema, the PF would have jailed him easily, but they couldn't jail him because politics was on his side. Politics was on his side. Politics precedes the constitution. Yes, it's the supreme of the land, but in practice, Mdala, in practice, politics is bigger. Why is it that some ministers, you can't arrest them and whatever? It is because of politics. Politics is in their favor. Now, when I look at Edgar Chagwa, politics is not in his favor at the moment. Politics is not in his favor. That is why they are able to go to his house and start cutting the gate. Because politics is not in his favor. When you're talking about politics being in favor, Mdala, when people hear the Kulesa Chinkupiti Wawantu, there will be a lot of people and whatever. That is how you get saved. But Maeva Esther Lungu, she was put in myself because politics is not in favor of Edgar Chagwa Lungu. It's not in favor. That is why. Otherwise, she wouldn't be there. She wouldn't have gone in there. Politics is very important. It's bigger than this. But for Edgar Lungu, he doesn't have that politics. And the reasons to that are several, but mostly it is himself. Mostly it is himself because he has held on to the power of PF. He has held on to the power of PF and yet is doing nothing with it. He has held on to the power of PF and yet is doing nothing to it. And this has caused the structures to break down. Such that PF now doesn't have people. PF has to struggle to gather people. He has to struggle to gather people. And secondly, yes, politics, you need money. You can't just sit, I'm the president of PF, and you are not doing anything. You are not pumping in money. It can't happen. That's why PF has even been losing some of these by-elections. Because mostly they don't have the money. And Edgar Lungu doesn't fund those campaigns. Politics, even what I'm doing here is politics. It's politics. And this politics that I'm doing here must be funded. That's a fact. What I'm doing here must be funded. This is work. This is politics. Influencing people's minds. Influencing people in a certain direction. That is politics. And if I don't have units, I have to ask for 200 kwacha for people to buy me bundles. How can I run a powerful agenda to keep the politics alive around by Edgar Chagwa Lungu? I can't do it. So by Edgar Lungu, in as far as politics is concerned, he's dead. In as far as politics is concerned, he's dead. Yes, people are calling for him to come. But where he is, Mulea Pamanda, you are going on the graveyard of somebody. Somebody who is dead inside, and you are calling, Buka, hey, come and save us. Come and save us. Like you are calling spirits. That's what you are doing. That's what you are doing. Kuliwa Edgar Chagwa Lungu. You are calling somebody who is. What do I mean is dead? He's dead because when do you hear about Edgar Lungu talking politics? When do you hear about Edgar Lungu talking politics? What does he do politically? What does he do? What does he do politically? What? But Edgar Lungu doesn't issue statements. He doesn't fund political activities. That's it. That's it. That's it. I mean, there are many opportunities where Edgar Lungu would have issued a political statement, but he doesn't. He doesn't. So he is dead politically. He is dead. People want him. Does he respond to them to say, oh, okay, I'm available. I'm going to come. I will serve you. Does he? Or he just sit like on a graveyard? Because that's what he does. He just keeps quiet. He's dead politically. So the best that he can do is to transform himself. Transform himself, become a statesman, away from politics. If Edgar Lungu transforms himself away from politics, becomes a statesman, all these issues that we are talking about, travel or restrictions, finchy, ukuya kucheichi, they will not be there. These things are there because of the politics. Because of the politics. And unfortunately, even when he's going to church, he's not going there as a politician. He's going there as a spirit. You can't tell whether this spirit is female or male. Whether this spirit is... You can't tell. What is it? Whether it's a good spirit or a bad spirit, you can't tell. And yes, you would want me to blame Hakainde Hichilema for doing this. Hey, Hakainde Hichilema, why are you doing this? Whatever. I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm telling you, it's useless. I know other people are talking what it's useless. You are wasting your time. You are wasting your time. Because even yourselves, if you are in the position of Hakainde Hichilema, you could do the same. Even Edgar Lungu, when he was in the position of Hakainde Hichilema, he was doing the same. And some people would actually do it worse. In politics, when we get power, we want to hold on to power. We want to keep that power. And in politics, I mean, there is no fair game. Forget it. Forget it. No president anywhere in the world, even in America, they are going to allow somebody who seems to have, the influence to go around and freely mingle with people. Especially when you know that a bag of meal is going up. Young people want jobs. Fertilizer is expensive. What? Then you allow this person to be going around. Who is going to do it? Let's be realistic. Can Edgar Lungu do it himself? We saw what he was doing. Could he do it? Let's be real. Could Edgar Lungu do it? And don't tell me, no, because Edgar Lungu did it, so then Hakainde. This is just the nature of politics. Everywhere, that is politics, is about that. And if you want to take over from somebody, you have to beat them mingalato. Baisane mingalato, you also play better mingalato. That is politics. That is politics. Some of you are saying, how come you have reduced to not even one people. People who are watching. People were watching you. I'm not worried about it. It's part of Imingalato. When I am supporting the government, when I'm talking good of the UPND, I don't have problems with my internet. I don't have problem with my Facebook. My page has been restricted. And you know why it has been restricted? Because I am speaking good of Zimbabwe. I'm speaking good of Zimbabwe. Zimbabweans were coming on my page. They are following me. Who is this Chilufya Tayali? I've been trying to post that documentary on my page. Each time I upload it, it goes down. Each time I upload it, it goes down. It has been restricted. Because these Copenhageners, these Anglo-Americans are powerful. And they control this Facebook. And some of you don't realize this. If you are doing something that Facebook or part of those people who sponsor Facebook do not agree with, you will not get the numbers. And if you are not careful, they will even pull down your page. So, my traffic has been restricted at the moment. Restricted. I mean, do you think people just drop from 3K to 600? No, it is because they have seen how that documentary is doing, and they have seen, oh, this is one of the guys. He's got influence. Where are the Zimbabweans here? Zimbabweans, during the time of Mugabe, they were all over me here. They would have been here, but they have restricted it. That documentary is not playing around on Facebook. That's why you are seeing it. It is on other platforms, but on Facebook, it is not making rounds because it has been restricted. It is against what Facebook is supporting. Facebook is supporting Chamisa in Zimbabwe, not Mnangagwa. And therefore, they cannot be playing that one. Wherever it is, check how many numbers. Check how many numbers are there. Linda Banks managed to upload one of the whatever. She managed. But check how many people are able to view that. Why? Because that content has been restricted. Imingalato in politics. Imingalato. So don't waste your time condemning, hey, hakainde ichilema, what. You are wasting your time. Even arrests Mdala. I've come to accept, even to understand, even my arrests. Some of them, they have to do them. Trust me, some of the arrests, they have to do them. Now, they know that this guy has got influence. And if tonight, you remember when they came and broke the gate? They broke the gate that day. They made sure they arrested me because they knew 20 hours I was going to talk about something sensitive. And they couldn't sit in spite of it being Sunday. They managed to come. It was a Sunday. They managed to come. That is the day I knew Vayui. That is the day I knew Vayui. The whole entire director had to come to make sure they fish out Chilufya. Because 20 hours, what I was going to talk about, was going to be serious damage on government. And they couldn't allow it. It's politics, imingalato. And if you think, everyone there at Edgar Lungu can't manage, because Edgar Lungu has that posture that somebody will just give him. But it can never happen. You have to fight for it. You have to eat tear gas. You have to sleep in cells. The moment you are not strong enough for these kind of things, you can't manage. And Edgar Lungu can't manage. And that's why I'm saying it would be good for him to package himself as a statesman and leave this politics. As long as he's in politics, these things will be happening. And trying to draw sympathy from people here and here, whatever, it will take him nowhere. Drawing sympathy from Zambians, it will only go as far as sympathy. Some of us, we have experienced it. Zambians will come. Now, no, we are with you. We are so sorry. These people, whatever. Who does anything more than sympathize on Facebook? Who does anything? Who does anything? Some of you can't even comment because you are scared. Zambians are cowards. Zambians like self-preservation. They preserve themselves. So they will sympathize with you, but it will end there. Yes, they sympathize with Edgar Lungu, but where is he? They sympathize with him, but where is he? He's at home. He didn't go. Did he go? You are sympathizing with him. Why haven't you put him on a plane? Why haven't you put him on a plane? You haven't put him on the plane. That is what Zambia is good for. Sympathizing only, but at the end of the day, nothing happens. So, from my point of view, what is best is Lungu to just, you know, take this position of a statesman, and I'm sure he will not have those issues. That is what I think. Anyway, Nalanda Sana, let me open phone lines. Mwachista talk time after all. Let me open phone lines so that you can also say something. Let me open phone lines. You can call me on WhatsApp. Is this phone charged? Okay. You can call me on WhatsApp. The number that you are calling is 0763 302207. You can call me on WhatsApp, only on WhatsApp. And the number that you are calling is 0763 I hope we have good connection. So 0763 302207. Hello? 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 Don't beep, just call. 0763 302207. Hello? Yeah, good connection. Hello?
Hello?
Yes, please.
Yeah, this is Tobias calling you from Chilufya.
Yes, Tobias, please go ahead.
But when they need me con Casana, I'm a days me follow in fact. Then probably know from this time arise.
0763 Hello?
And then my voice so.
Hello?
Hello, good evening, Mr. Tayali. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Hello?
Yes, my daughter.
Okay,
yeah?
well, pick one.
What's up?
Hello? Hello, are you getting me?
Okay, so what you do, can you walk to, as if you're going to East Park? Let me pick you by the gate there. I'm sure it's safe, isn't it?
Hello?
But hey, sorry, I think I need to attend to my daughter. Bye. Hello?